Welcome to Electromaster. Today I am going to tell you how you can protect your digital PlayStation games so that you can play them offline 5, 10, or even 20 years from now. Basically, when you buy a digital PS5 game, you don't actually own the game. You just bought a license, and if you aren't careful, Sony can take it away. We are going to cover a 30 new day license check and how to safeguard your storage and a hidden account deletion rule that you must know, else Sony may delete your account. So let's get started. First, you need to understand how digital games actually work. When you buy a digital game, technically, you are not buying the game itself. You are buying a license to play the game on your PlayStation account. That's why internet is used to confirm that the game was actually purchased on your account. Now, to play the digital game offline, there is one important setting you need to enable. So go to settings, then users and accounts, go to other and select console sharing and offline play and make sure it is enabled. This option can only be enabled for one PS5 at a time and for a particular PlayStation network. Now comes the important part. In 2026, a new 30-day license system was implemented on newly purchased digital PlayStation games. Earlier, you could buy a digital game, the purchase was confirmed, and you could play it offline forever. But now, the reason reported behind this is to prevent a refund exploit, where some users buy a game and take the console offline and refund the purchase. So after the required one-time online check, the temporary license can be replaced with a permanent license. So let me give you an example. So let's say I buy a game on 1st of July 2026. It will get a temporary 30-day license. If I come back after a month on, let's say, 2nd of August, the temporary license will be expired because there is a internal clock running in even if you are disconnected from the internet. So you would have to connect the internet and the temporary license will be converted into permanent license. So now you could play the game offline forever. Game storage. Yes, you can always download a digital game from PlayStation Store. But what happens if Sony decides to remove a game from its server, let's say from 5 years from now? For any important game, you can actually keep the copy of the game in external or internal storage saved as a precaution. You can play the PS4 games directly from external hard drive. For PS5 games, you can store the games, but in order to play the game, you have to copy them into the internal SSD. So I recommend you buying an external good SSD. And if your budget allows, you can buy a good high quality internal SSD, maybe 2 or 4 terabytes, or at least 1 terabyte for Sony PlayStation 5. Sony has also implemented a 36-month deletion trap. Basically, you need to know this is the most important thing. If you decide to be completely inactive, or in some case, you are completely inactive for 36 months, Sony can begin a process to delete and permanently close your inactive account. Even if you have 100 digital purchases, the account is worth of thousands of dollars, your account will be deleted. So once or twice every 1 or 2 years, you should come online and make sure that your account is active and usually have a good security, get two-factor authentication. This point is a precaution for long-term offline gaming. If you plan to preserve your PS5 for offline play, you have to go into the settings, then system software, and then go into system software and update settings. Turn off both download and auto install update files. This doesn't mean you should never update PS5, but you need to know this is a precaution. Let's say from a few months from now, Sony decides that they are going to suspend permanent license and each user has to come up online every month to verify their licenses. So I'm not saying not to update the PS5, but you should know before updating. If a new update pops up, you know there is an update and you can actually search the web that what new changes have been implemented. If there is some gimmick like this, you can decide that you want to be a permanent offline player and decide not to update. Take GTA 6. We have waited many years for this game. Imagine finally getting the physical edition, holding the case and putting it in your collection and showing your relatives and friends. Now compare that with a digital purchase. You turn on the TV and point to a GTA 6 icon. It feels like buying a digital currency. Even if a physical edition just comes with a digital code inside, at least you get the case and the artwork. A proper disc and case gives you the true feeling of ownership. Digital is convenient, but physical remains for you forever. No one can take it from you. Now mention in comments, do you prefer digital or physical edition? And when GTA 6 comes out, which version are you buying? This is Electromaster. Kindly subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.